It's just what it sounds like. It gives the citizens an opportunity to sit down with law enforcement in a kind of a neutral environment and talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Living in a rural area can be different in many ways from living in an urban area. And because rural areas are farther from emergency services, it's important that residents have a close relationship with law enforcement in the area. Let's learn about some ways that the Jackson County Sheriff's Office works to develop close connections with residents in rural areas.
Hi, I'm Jesse Burns with Jackson County Close-Up, and today I'm here with Deputy Michael Hermant with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and he's going to be talking to us today about how the sheriffs are building relationships with people in our rural communities. Deputy Hermant, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What are some of the ways that the sheriff's deputies are reaching out to people in rural communities?
So here at the Sheriff's Department, we applied for and received a federal grant for community-oriented policing. I'm one of two deputies who are assigned to that. And we don't answer calls for service. We primarily do all of our rural patrols and work out in the far rural edges of the county where most of the other deputies never make it to.
White City and Gold Hill request extra help from the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. Can you tell us about that and why they choose to do that as opposed to have their own police department?
To have your own police department, it takes more money. For two officers to be on the road, you have to have the administration, you have to have clerks, the evidence technicians and all that stuff that goes with every cop that you see. So if they contract with us, and like White City has, they actually passed a levy 20 years ago. It's a tax that actually comes out that pays for 6 of us. It's cheaper than having your own department. Also, small departments run into a lot of issues with turnaround. Guys who are just getting hired on in law enforcement, it's kind of a stepping stone. Go to a small agency, get hired, get a little experience, and you move on. So the small agencies have a hard time keeping people. They're always moving people around, trying to hire. And with us, contract with us, if someone who was working for the city leaves, another deputy just moves right into that position, so it's cheaper. And all around, you get a lot more bang for your buck. You got the CID, Detective Division, all the equipment that we have, all the assets come with us.
Tell us a little bit about the Coffee with a Cop program and how that kind of helps to foster relationships with people in rural communities.
Coffee with a Cop it's a nationwide organization. And basically, it's just what it sounds like. It gives the citizens an opportunity to sit down with law enforcement in a kind of a neutral environment and talk about whatever you want to talk about. Talk about what's going on in your neighborhood, talk about what they see is going on in the world, or just talk to us one-on-one just about sports or whatever. It's just a non-confrontational time to ask a cop something you wouldn't usually get a time to ask anybody.
If somebody wanted to participate in that, how would they go about having coffee with you?
What we would do is set up a date and time, and we would advertise that on social media, our Facebook page, or whatever pages that we have. Sometimes we put out flyers too, especially some of the real rural areas where they don't have internet. We'll actually post stuff up at the grocery stores and set things like that that just basically give you the date and time. Then the person just needs to show up.
So is that typically multiple people will show up? It's not necessarily a one-on-one thing, but kind of a group of people?
The ones that I've been to, they have a section of the restaurant kind of cordoned off for us, and we just kind of meander around, sit down, talk to people. They get up and walk over and talk to us. So you just show up and have breakfast and coffee with us.